You are live.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. Today we are going to be making apple pie crepes. And I'm not sure if apple pie is going to be the proper term, but for searchability and kind of knowing what we're going to be making, I'm just going to call it that because it's going to kind of taste like that. Minus the crust, we are going to do crepes with it. So we're just going, I'm just finishing this up. I'm sorry, I am running behind today. It's been a full day of desserts. As you guys, if you're seeing my stories, you saw we had 4 desserts today. But yeah, we're gonna just give everyone a few minutes to jump on here and we'll go ahead and start rolling. And before I forget, on camera is my husband, holding the camera is my husband, Joe.
Get your life together.
I'm telling you. So last time, like what was it, last week or the week before, I was complaining, all right, I had too much coffee. This time I have not had enough coffee.
I feel the same way today.
Yeah, it just feels like maybe because this week it got a little bit cooler or something, which I love fall. I live for fall. Boot weather is my jam. But it just, I don't know if it's that or what it is. It just feels like a little bit slower this week. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, is it us or is it everybody? Come on, help us out. Don't make us feel so bad.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of people pouring in. Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
I am watching the chat, so if you have questions throughout this live, feel free to put them in the chat and I will relay them to Danielle. I cannot help you myself, but I will try to relay those things to her as much as possible.
I'm sure you can make something up really quick.
We've got some people in here I recognize, a lot of people that I don't, so thank you guys all for joining. House Shoe Hostess says hello. Joe and Dee, how are you? We've got Chilies and Smoke is saying hi, Danny and Joe.
Aren't you on vacation? I think you should be on vacation right now.
Entrepreneurs don't take vacations. Don't you know this?
That is a true story right there. That's what even I hired an assistant and we're going over some stuff today because I'm going to be leaving for a week in the end of October to November. And I was just like, well, I'm going to do this while I'm down there, this, and this. She's like, well, you're going to be on vacation. Why don't you give me some of this stuff so you don't have to work? Yeah, no, I can't do that.
Gia said, Joe, I loved your face when you were tasting the Danish. I didn't actually see the video because I knew I made such a goofy face that I didn't even want to look at it. So thank you for that.
You should see, he walks over like this. And then takes a bite, so I hurry up and pull out my camera because I was just sitting in bed editing videos. I'm like, how come I always miss the best moments on camera? It's like, what kind of awkward crap are you doing?
Tyrone Hooper 27 said hi, hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Mr. Hebron says fall is great, but feeling tired too. Maybe that's what it is. It's just the cool weather.
Yeah.
Plus I had to get up early, which, was always fun.
Yeah, I think it is. It's got to be the cool weather and just, yeah.
We have our friends. These are old friends, not old people, but old friends of ours from Michigan, Nora and Jay saying hello.
What's up, guys? How are you guys
way
doing?
Too long.
It's been way too long. I don't know about going up to Michigan to visit you guys, but you guys come down and visit us.
Yeah, definitely not anytime soon. We have Tanny Perez, asking to join our live. We don't let people join our lives, so we just don't
know what that means.
Well, what it means is if I accept it, then they are split screen with you in your live, and everybody else sees them as well, which is weird. So we don't do that.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot.
But thanks for asking. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, and any questions on anything, recipe, definitely let me know too.
And Brad said, yes, I'm on vacation, but can't help but support my friend. So thank you.
Buddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's talking to you, not me.
Yeah. You're getting confused here, babe.
Oh well. We've got a hi from Florida. Hello, and hope you are safe and sound from the hurricane. We've have some family down there as well, dealing with all of the struggles of the hurricane. So
Yeah, what a disaster, man. Such a mess, but yep.
for those of you who haven't followed us before and don't know, that was the eye of the storm literally hit the little small island that we used to live on. Just back in December, we moved here. So we are very grateful to not be in that situation right now. The poor friends and neighbors down there are having a heck of a mess to clean up. So,
And Joe's mom. Joe's mom lived right across the street. It was like Everybody Loves Raymond. It was us, Joe's mom, literally right across the street. So, yeah, she's still not on the island right now. But they're saying that they're going to have a bridge ready in a week. That is insane.
Saturday.
Yeah,
They're saying Saturday,
all the
which
bridges
is
were
crazy.
taken out. So, I don't know how they're doing that, but I'm sure it'll get done. I mean, I see everybody working like crazy out there. Whoops.
We have Mike saying greetings from Texas. Welcome. Thank
Hi,
you for
how are
being
you doing?
here. Gluten Free and Golden has joined.
My girl Nicole, how are you doing, lady? She's working and working and working. I know exactly how she's doing.
All right, we've had a lot of people join. Why don't you tell everybody what you're making today and what you're doing?
So I'm chopping up apples right now. Again, I meant to be prepped a little bit earlier, running a little bit behind on recipes today. But we are going to make a apple pie style crepe. And I have some pudding ready to go. I meant to make up some butterscotch pudding too, which, you know, we're gonna go over substitutes as well for this. Some of the things that I had posted earlier in the week, I didn't realize like so many people were allergic to stone fruit, because I had asked, do you guys prefer apples or pears? And apples won on it. But then a lot of people said they're allergic to stone fruit. So we're gonna go over some good substitutes if you're allergic to apples as well. So, and I'll go and do that now because I have just a little bit more chopping. I swear I'll be done in a second here.
And before you do that, I have a question. What is stone fruit? I don't even know what that is.
Stone fruit is like plums, let's see, plums,
So like anything with
pears.
a pit or what?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hey, I'm
Look
making
at you.
stuff up and she's just going along with it.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, it's gotta be because it's plums, pears. But pears have little seeds, so I don't really get that. Maybe it's like, I don't know. I can't even make something up that quick. See, I need my coffee. If I had my coffee, I would make something up with a quickness.
Okay, back to substitutes. Sorry.
Okay, so substitutes. Essentially, this recipe is just like Bananas Foster. So if you're allergic to any kind of like apples or stone fruit, go ahead and use bananas would be a really good one. You could also just do berries would be a really good option too. If you did berries, you're gonna wanna change the seasoning just a little bit, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Or you could omit the fruit completely and just do, because it's kind of more like a caramel that the sauce comes out to be. So you could always just do that with nuts, your preferred nuts. I like to use walnuts, or here's that word, pecans or pecans. Everyone has their own way of saying it.
Our girl Gluten Free and Golden did confirm that it is anything with a pit.
So why would it be pears? That's where I get confused. Why would pears be considered that? Or is it not, and it's just, you know, somebody being allergic to both things? See, she's like an encyclopedia.
I know, we need her on here all
She's
the
like
time.
Google.
She can answer all of our questions.
Yeah.
Because we can't Google it because we're using your phone.
Yeah.
So what kind of apples are you using today?
So you guys are going to see me use a lot of Granny Smith apples, especially right now during apple season. I like Granny Smith apples because when you're going to mix it with anything with a sugar, Granny Smith is a more firm apple and a more tart apple. So it just really balances out the flavor, so it's not overly sweet. You do have a little bit of that sweet and sour, and on top of it, it's going to hold its shape. A lot of other apples are just going to turn to applesauce. So, and it's funny, the other day, I wasn't even thinking I was making this recipe. I was making homemade applesauce. I got a bag of Granny Smith apples just because I'm in the mode of I'm getting bags of those. So I get it all set up, I get it all prepped, throw it in. As soon as I put it in the pot with the other ingredients, I was just like, crap, what am I doing? I'm using the wrong apple for applesauce. Now, it works great, it tastes good, but I want, like, preferably making an applesauce, I want it to be, you know, really ground up, broken down, however you want to say it. And Joe was trying it last night. He's like, the texture is really different on these apples. And literally it just hit me. That's why. Let me grab.
She had me second guessing my taste buds.
Yeah, because I mean, I've made applesauce for so long, forever and ever.
Is there a specific size that you're going for and reason why, or just preference?
Not really. So I'm just, put that down there. So I'm just cutting it up for that shape just because it's gonna cook a little bit quicker. You could do long slices. I wouldn't do anything too thick on this because you don't want the sauce to caramelize too much before your apples get a little bit tender. So we are going to do our crepes next. And you guys know I'm going with Josie's. I use Josie's crepe mix, their pancake mix, their waffle mix. I had somebody hit me up the other day and ask for a waffle recipe. And honestly, I've made waffles and pancakes from scratch before, but now I'm kind of like, well, why would I make it from scratch? I got this.
Follow the directions on the back of Josie's bag.
Yeah, it just makes it so easy. All right, so I'm gonna add in all the liquids first. We're gonna start, when you're making your crepes, we're gonna follow the directions. So whatever your crepe mix that you're using, follow those directions. With this one, we're gonna do a 1 cup mix, which is 1 egg. I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to add some of the, what do I want to say, like the warming flavors into the crepes as well. And we're going to use some cinnamon. We're going to do half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
And of course, she's got her mega size cinnamon.
Yeah, I got 3 things of them. I just looked in the pantry. I was just like, "Ooh, I'm not playing this year. This year. I can't talk. I'm telling you, I need coffee." And I do have some apple spice. We are going to use that in the actual in the Foster's. What am I trying to say? I'm telling you, I really do need a coffee. In the topping, we're going to add it in there.
You and I both know that we are both too old to be drinking coffee after 7 p.m. Come on.
That's rude. I feel like that's really judgmental.
You're going to be up all night.
Yeah. All right.
Probably get the heartburn, too.
Yeah. Don't get heartburn.
Oh, that's me. Never mind. That only happens when you're over 40. Sorry.
Now you're really starting to make me feel old. All right. Half a cup of water plus 2 teaspoons. And excuse the mess in the sink. I'm on load 4 of dishes today.
Now see, your professional cameraman here shot that at an angle so nobody saw the mess in the sink.
Look at you.
But then you told on yourself.
Look at you. You're going to want to start to get paid soon, aren't you?
Yeah, well, St. Jimmy 10 said, drink all the coffee.
I'm telling you, man, I really need some. I think I'm going to start getting some of that. We were drinking, what's that espresso? That cold brew espresso. Stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it makes me excited.
Gia said, haha, did you say heartburn? We're not that old. Gia, I am that old, and I do get the heartburn.
Yeah. My birthday is coming up, and it's getting close to numbers or digits, I should say, that I don't feel really good about. So I'm just going to stick with my age and just keep calling Joe old. So with the crepe mix, unlike pancakes and waffles and pretty much anything else, we are going to mix until smooth. couple of lumps in there. And I'm gonna show you guys, and especially for a lot of people that missed it last time, I'm telling you. I'm gonna show you a really easy way to make crepes on just a non-stick skillet. All right, that's nice and smooth. So I'm gonna take my little handy dandy recipe over here. We're gonna move over here. We're gonna start the crepes first and then go to the topping. I know last time we kind of did both at the same time, and I don't want this to be too much back and forth, to just try to make it a little bit easier for everyone. And look at, I found my big skillet. So I'm not using my tiny little skillet, my little tiny non-stick skillet. So you guys would be proud. I remember to look for it. So you can use, if you have a crepe, what do they call it? Like a crepe skillet, or a, you know, like the machine where you spread it out. You're welcome to use whatever you have. I just use this. I find it's really easy. I spray it with non-stick spray. The first one I always consider a throwaway crepe because it's going to absorb a lot of that oil. And then after that, your crepes are going to get a little bit more pretty. So we're just going to let this heat up a little bit. See, I'm wanting to go over here. I'm wanting to start that. Having a hard time not doing it, especially just standing here. So does anyone have any questions so far? I mean, I know we're really just getting going.
Haven't seen any questions yet.
Okay.
Tanya is very persistent in requesting to join our live, though. So thank you. We really appreciate you.
Yep, not today, but maybe on TikTok. So I went live on TikTok probably 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go on there and just, you know, talk about really nothing. And a lot of people wanted to join, but it scared me. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. And just like, yeah, I just don't know enough about it.
Okay, yeah. Tell us what you're doing before you start pouring.
Yes, okay. So I'm going to pour it in the center and move the skillet around. Again, the first one is normally a little bit, you know, not the best looking, but I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to add, and, ooh, this pan's heavier. Let me use both my arms for the gun show here. Move that around. If you need to add a little bit more, go ahead. So this is actually one reason, oh, that made it worse. I should have used probably the smaller one, thinking about it. That may make it easier. I'm so used to using like one and then the other and the other. But we're gonna fold it up and it's gonna taste the exact same, so I'm not worried about it. But any size skillet, just make sure when you're doing the rollout portion that you don't want to go up on the edges. Let me turn this down. That you don't go up on the edges because it can be a little bit harder to flip.
We've got St. Jimmy 10 says, first one is always rough, at least for me.
Always. It's like, it's guaranteed it's going to happen.
Evan C says, I love it. Caramel sauce is his favorite on them.
It's so good. It's so, I mean, caramel, and this topping that we're making today, you can put it on pretty much everything. I think I'm going to try it over a pumpkin bread. That may be pretty good. Just kind of like the banana foster I did over banana bread. But yeah, you can put this right on ice cream. You can put it on anything that you want. Sweeten it up a little bit. All right, so it cooks super quick. So all we're doing, I'm just going to fold this over so you don't see my sweet skills of spreading it around. And we're going to fill that up. I have a little bit of pudding we're going to use.
All right, let's see the mad skills this time.
Let's see if we can do this better this time.
Joyce said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize what it meant when it asked to go live. I'm so glad you didn't accept it. My hair is a mess." Well, it's right back at you, because the first time we actually accepted one, the person who was on it was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And that's exactly what happened, basically. So we didn't know what it was, and they didn't know what it was. And
it's
so
confusing. Like, I think it's just you think that you're joining a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you're on. And yeah, some of the things, I'm right there with you. I don't get it, so I just immediately, I'm like, no, can't do it.
And now I'm realizing that it has nothing to do with people continuing to request. It just keeps popping it up. So my apologies, Tanya. You are not continuing to request it. It just keeps showing up on my end because more people. So.
Oh, gotcha.
My bad.
So second one looks better. It's a little bit smaller, but it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna taste good. And actually, when I get this second one going, I wanted to pull out some ice cream. We got a new ice cream that we've been trying. It's like 4 different flavors, and one is a creme brulee. So dangerous. I think that would go really good on this. And you can see the color is really pretty. It has all the flecks of the cinnamon in it. It's a very warm vibe to it.
One question asked, have you tried brown butter ice cream? This was Evan C.
Brown butter ice cream?
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
No.
Is that the name? Is that the brand of it, or is that just the type? And if so, what's the brand of it?
Yeah, brown butter it's becoming so popular. Like brown butter cookies and sauces and stuff like that. Man, that sounds good. That would be perfect for this. Absolutely perfect.
We have lots of new people joining. So for those of
Hey,
you who
guys.
didn't catch the beginning, this is Apple Pie Crepes,
Apple Pie Crepes and...
AKA tiny pancakes.
Yes, Ricky Bobby. It's so funny. There's certain things that, just movies take over. Like the other day, or just even now, when you're peeling apples and I'm sitting there and I'm peeling and I made it through the whole apple with just one peel. It makes me think of Sleepless in Seattle when he's describing his wife. Like every time I do it, it makes me think of that. And every time I make crepes, I think of Ricky Bobby. What a dynamic there, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan to Will Ferrell.
And Evan said, it's at Whole Foods, that's all I know. So thank you.
I need to get up there, so
Yeah.
I will definitely be looking for that. Yeah, that would be delicious, and especially, even on like pumpkin pie.
We have a viewer from the Philippines. Big shout out. Thank you for joining.
Hi, thank you for joining. We are making crepes, and we're almost done with the crepe portion. We just have one left, and then we're gonna go ahead and start on the delicious topping.
Smokin' Ray's Backyard Barbecue joined. Welcome.
Welcome.
I don't know. I just saw barbecue, and how do you not love barbecue?
Yeah, that sounds really good right now. Man, that sounds good. We did a big old barbecue last Sunday with some friends that came over, and man, you just can't beat barbecue. Especially
So,
ribs.
I managed a huge party fowl at work. I took in the ribs and the mashed potatoes and the cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I loaded up a big plate and ate it and immediately went into a food coma and forgot that I left all the stuff out to, have to put away. And so today I walked into a stinky office with a half a slab of ribs and 2 pieces of cornbread that were not in the best of shape.
And that's bad. You just wasted
I know.
ribs.
Oh, I know. I actually considered eating them.
Yeah, that's like grounds of...
And then I smelled them and realized that was a bad idea.
All right, we're sticking over here.
Okay.
Oh, let me grab
I'll show them the crepes real quick, though.
We have just enough. All right, you guys know that I add booze into pretty much any sauce that I'm making. So, I'm using spiced rum. You could use whiskey, anything that's spiced, a warm flavor like this would work really well. Jack Daniels just came out with he's had it out, excuse me. The Apple Jack, that would work really good. Or if you have Calvados, that's a really good one too. Or if you're not gonna be participating in adding any type of liquor, just using a little bit more apple cider or apple juice will be really good for this. We're just really trying to infuse those flavors.
Elizabeth89 asked, what brand are the pans? They don't stick. I want those. That was awesome. So it's just a non-stick pan, right?
So my go-to non-stick is Legend cookware. Yes, Legend.
There you go.
And if you're looking for this kind of skillet, this is Heston. I use their nano bomb pans. Absolutely love them. They clean up and look absolutely brand new, beautiful every time. All right, we're gonna start off with a couple tablespoons of butter. Throw that over here.
We've got hello watching from Canada. Welcome.
Thank you for joining us. We are making some crepes. Man, this is getting me hungry. I don't know how I could eat another dessert today though. I had cannoli cheesecake, Oreo cheesecake, chocolate chip, peanut butter, lasagna, dessert. I didn't eat the pumpkin one yet though because I didn't finish shooting that.
Yet, guys. She's noticed the yet.
But I'm super excited about this because crepes are one of my favorites, especially when you add in like a pudding just to help balance it out. And I'm all about vanilla.
Oh, look at that butter sizzle.
Now, I know this is going to be more of a loaded question, but are you guys chocolate or vanilla or mixed? I do love it mixed too, like those Boston cream pies from the other day. Oh, so good.
St. Jimmy 10 said, peanut butter lasagna sounds delicious.
It is, yeah, it's, I kind of remade it off of a old recipe of mine, which was just all single layers. This one is double layers to make it that lasagna soft. It's ridiculous.
We've got 2 votes for vanilla. Evan says vanilla by far. Joyce
Yeah,
Box
I'm
16
shocked.
says vanilla. Oh, the chocolatey's a little come through.
I was gonna say.
I have confidence.
That's not gonna last long. I forgot the brown sugar. I'll be right back.
Okay. It's just us now. She's gone. What do you guys want me to do?
Don't
Oh,
touch my
she's
stuff.
back. She's back. She's back. Never mind.
Yeah, don't touch my stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and add in, we'll do our apples first.
Thank you for waiting for me to get that shot too.
Oh, yeah.
We're still trying to figure out this whole thing about video, you know. Danielle's just a doer.
I am. Even today, like when I was talking to somebody I just hired to help me out, we're going over stuff. I'm just like, you're gonna have to ask Joe for like direction and like, you know, going over details and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm a doer. I just, you know, I'm the worst person to ask for direction or anything like that. Like seriously, the hardest part about, you know, doing anything for Instagram, for not even the reels and pictures, it's just writing up the recipe. Like that's the hardest part, because it's just, you gotta sit down and type it all out, and that is not my strong suit. And we're just going to get these a little bit tender.
And Haley M just joined and started following you, so thank you guys. If you aren't following, definitely do so. We try to go live once a week. And of course, Danielle posts all of her great recipes on here, absolutely free for you guys. So
All free, and Yeah, and we do a lot of different things for, if you ever have a cooking question or anything like that, you can always feel free to DM me.
What are we adding there?
I am adding apple pie spice. It's just an apple pie seasoning. We're going to add about half a teaspoon. And if you don't have apple pie spice, or I know that there's another name for it, and I'm not thinking of it. Anyways, you could do half a teaspoon of cinnamon and then 1/8 of a teaspoon of allspice. Pinch of salt.
And by the way, if you want that apple pie spice, that is a Spiceology product. So you can find that on Spiceology.
Yeah, they have a great lineup. They also have, I'll show it to you while those are getting tender.
We'll sneak a peek in the cabinets.
Oh, it's dirty. It's really dirty. They have pumpkin spice too, so that's a must. We're in pumpkin season, guys. These two seasoning, I mean, I used this one. I just got it, what was it, about 2 weeks ago, and I'm already halfway through the jar. I mean, you can put it in if you make coffee or lattes. Well, lattes if you're getting fancy. Joey makes fancy coffees. I just do, you know, simple coffee in my Keurig.
I drink cappuccino
You're very fancy.
with, you know,
All
all
right,
the extras.
we are going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm actually going to add just a little bit more because I have a little bit more apples in there. So I want to balance out. Now, when you're adding, if you're going to add alcohol in this dish, like we are, you can turn off your, if you're on a gas burner, you can turn it off if you feel more comfortable doing that. Add a 1/4 cup. And then turn it back on, or you can leave your burner on, whichever you feel most comfortable with.
St. Jimmy 10 bought a badge. Thank you so much, and
Thank
said
you.
this is for your spice budget. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your guys' support. It definitely helps out. The other day we were going through finances and stuff, and I'm looking at the grocery bills like, ugh. But I mean, it's so much fun to do this, and we get to eat yummy food too.
Gluten-free and golden said, Danielle, those jeans look great on you. So, you know, it's not all about the food, right? It's about fashion too.
Yes. Did you see my sweet fashion? I mean, I know that Nicole, she's posted some pictures and she calls it her homeless look. So I was wearing, you know, my thick woolly socks. I was wearing those, my sweatpants, whatever shirt, you know, something covered in flour because I was cooking all day. And then I was wearing my sandals, walking out, and there's a full
These
crew.
sandals?
No, these are
Oh.
my nice shoes. Well,
Oh,
nicer.
those are your, oh.
Nicer.
Never mind.
No, the other ones are my. I'm watching you.
Yeah, I got to be careful because now that means she's going to go buy new shoes. So.
Yeah, consider it done.
Yeah. All right.
That's already
I
happened.
keep cutting you off. Well, tell us what you're doing here. This looks like stuff's happening over here.
So you can see it's already caramelizing some. Just that liquid with the sugar. We're going to add, that looks like about 1/2 cup of cider. Again, you can do apple juice. That will work just as well. We just really want to get that flavor through and through.
Nora says, I love the shoes too.
Thank you. They're so comfy. I'm addicted to these. But yeah, I was walking out in my sweet outfit today. And of course, you know, there's a house being built next to us. And it's really close to our, like where my car's parked, the driveway right there. So I'm going out there, taking out the trash. And of course, all the guys are right there. So they all get to see my sweet outfit this morning. Yeah. Guess you can't have any shame in your game. You just gotta go for it.
Thank you all for the people who are just joining. We have Chef Franny joined.
Thank you
Turkman
for
2404 is joined. We are making apple pie crepes, and we have kind of already made the crepes and are onto the, what is this, the topping, the sauce, what do you call it?
This is the topping. What do you call this? Do you call this a sauce? I mean, when you're saying like bananas Foster, you're just saying bananas Foster, and it's like that's the top.
Yeah.
The saucy top. How about that? All right.
Well, after you boozed it up, yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta add booze. Booze makes everything better.
What do we got? Walnut halves going in.
We're adding some walnuts. You could use.
If you guys know Danielle, she has to have a crunch.
Crunch
Mandatory.
is a absolute must.
Especially with something sweet.
Yeah, I need it to balance out. It surprises a lot of people. I actually don't really have a sweet tooth. I have more one now than I ever have. But Joe has a massive sweet tooth where he would go through a gallon of ice cream in a week. So,
It's called a bulking phase. You don't even know, Danielle.
yeah. Oh, I get it.
Someone said it's the filling, but I don't know. Is it filling or is it going on top?
You know, it could be called a filling because a lot of the times they'll put it in the crepes too. This one we're gonna put on top. All right, we're just gonna let that sit there, get married. I'm gonna pull out, you think the creme brulee? I have a vanilla ice cream, but the brand of vanilla ice cream that I bought, it's a new brand. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try this. It is so hard that I can't actually even get, you know, a little spoonful out. So I'm thinking creme brulee. Did you already eat all the coffee?
No. Someone is asking, are these gluten-free, dairy-free?
They are. So everything that I make is gluten-free, dairy-free. You're welcome to make anything full dairy, full gluten. Actually, this is going to be a couple minutes, so let's go ahead and head over here, and I'll show you some of the stuff that we've used so far.
And Carly K followed up and said, we always put it on the inside, so they call it the filling, which makes perfect sense.
Yep. And there are like a lot of different techniques of how if you're going to roll them, if you're going to leave them flat, and all of that. And actually, we can go ahead and start to do this now while our topping is getting married. Let me just.
If you roll them, though, make sure you don't roll them too tight because they could explode. We saw that on Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes. And you guys can tell, like, this is how much TV we watch. Well, I watch. I love my TV. So, all right. So for gluten-free, I use Josie's Best. It's just my personal favorite. It's a really great all-around crepe mix that you can just really customize it for any flavor that you want. She also makes pancakes and waffles. So any recipe that you see on my page where you see a picture of a pancake or a waffle, 9 times out of 10, I'm using her stuff. It just makes it so much easier, but it tastes amazing. Like, I've fed this to so many different people. You can't tell it's gluten-free and dairy-free. That is the whole premise of, you know, the Salty Cooker and everything that I create. I don't want you to know it's gluten-free and dairy-free. So,
Which started because I'm a crybaby and I'm picky, and she tried to switch us to gluten-free and dairy-free, and when it didn't taste the same, I threw a fit.
well, and a lot of it can be aggravating too. Like, you make a cake, like you spend all this time to make this cake, you're all excited, it tastes great that day, and the next day it's stale, and you can't eat it. I mean, that is the biggest type of piss me off ever, is you spend so much time creating that, whether it's for you or somebody else, and then all of a sudden it's not good. So yeah, all the cakes and stuff like that I make, I mean, typically they hold up for about a week too. Holding the moisture, that's key.
Kel said, awesome, I'm celiac and lactose intolerant, so that's great. Definitely should follow if you're not, because all of Danielle's recipes are gluten-free and dairy-free.
Yeah, everything is gluten-free, dairy-free. Right now I am using a vanilla pudding to fill the crepes. And so for the pudding, I use an instant pudding. Simply Delish makes a really good instant pudding. So I use that a lot. And then Joe drinks, this is his go-to for his fancy coffees. So I use this a lot, or, you know, oat milk is really my go-to. Or Ripple. I really like Ripple too. But if you're going to use a dairy-free in a instant pudding, just make sure that you use your mixer, otherwise it's gonna be super runny. So yeah, use your mixer and that'll make life a lot easier.
So like you're mixing it on a higher speed, or what is it that makes it not runny?
Yeah, you're mixing it on a higher speed, and what it's doing is it's really breaking down everything, because if you don't use a mixer, you'll find that it's like clumpy and grainy. And it is not good. It doesn't taste good. It tastes like sugar particles. And let me
So
just-
this is why we can't call the apple stuff the filling, because we're using pudding for the filling.
Well, and that's just the style.
Right.
So, and this is how I always made it for my stepson. So I just kind of always go to this. I've made them a million different ways, and this was always his favorite. So, yeah, I just do this one. And we're just going to, I got this one weird one. Let's actually put that there, and I'll just put this over here. So, other options for, now you don't even have to use pudding. You could just do the topping all on its own, be absolutely delicious, just like Bananas Foster. Another option that I meant to prep and did not was butterscotch. So I'm working on an apple butterscotch recipe right now, and I really wanted to make butterscotch pudding with this, which I think it would be really good. I've not tried it, but I think it'd be really good. And let's do it.
And did you just turn off the heat to those apples? Is that what you were doing?
I did, yeah, because the sauce is evaporating, so I want to make sure I still have some in there. There we go. And yeah, we'll just keep it like that.
It's a masterpiece.
It looks kind of messy down here. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll just end up messing with it too much. All right, so if you want to stay there, I'm going to bring this to you. And this made a lot of sauce. Look at this. Let's see. Okay, so you can see there is our yummy topping. Oh my God, it smells so good. I just got a big old whiff of it. Just spoon that right on top. And this would be, I don't know, this is like a really good brunch food to me. Would you eat this for brunch? Would you guys eat this for brunch?
I was gonna say I'd eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You know me.
Yeah, or like when would you eat something like this? Or is this more strictly dessert?
In about 7 minutes, I would say. 10 minutes maybe.
In 7 minutes, so yeah, dessert. Ooh,
Hey, here's a comment. Now this is what we're talking about. Evan says, Joe, my mom and sister have a crush on you. I've showed them the page.
Damn,
Yes.
I told you don't tell him that. Now he's gonna have a big head.
Yes.
Now I gotta hear about this
Yes.
for the rest of the night. He said that the other day. I was just like, I'm not telling him. He's gonna get a big head.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that looks so good.
So there we go. If you want to add a little bit of cinnamon on top to top it off, do you want me to see if I can pull an ice cream? Put that on there, or do you want it like that?
I mean, I think we should have a scoop of ice cream to try it.
Okay.
Gluten-free and golden says, I've never had a crepe. What?
What?
All right, well.
We've got a problem.
Now then again, what was it that you had never had that she was laughing at?
She was blown away. I had never had a fluffer nutter.
Fluffer nutter. What is it again? I don't even remember what it is.
It's marshmallow fluff.
Yeah.
Marshmallow fluff. Well, So I did mine a little bit different, which I've got to edit the video to see if it turned out good. But it's marshmallow fluff. I put a hazelnut chocolate spread on it, and then I turned it into a French toast style, dipped it in cinnamon and sugar, fried it off, and then poured some syrup on top. It was pretty good. It's a little bit of a sticky mess, but it is really good. She was giving me heat for that.
Well, she said she's been diagnosed with celiac for nearly 10 years, so she just never tried one. So now you can try one.
You've got to try
There it
Josie's.
is.
You got to try it. Or
Kel
you just
says,
come here.
Save me a bite. Of course.
Absolutely. All right, so I added caramel brulee. That is one of my new favorite ice creams.
Also known to the rest of us as caramel brulee. Boom, got her. Made her check the label and everything.
I did not have my Wheaties or my second cup of coffee today, and you're messing with me, man. I feel you.
M. Becker asked, is that the creme brulee ice cream? So yes, that is the creme brulee ice cream.
So
Let me get another shot because it kind of got blurry on me there.
It's dairy-free, and it doesn't taste like it. And you can see how I scooped it out. I just pulled it out of the fridge. So actually, let me see if this is dirty. One of the biggest things that I don't know what it is, what the creaminess factor is in ice cream, but so many dairy-free ice creams, they're super hard, so you can't even get a scoop. But you can see this one, I mean, I just pulled it out.
Yeah, she literally got me some dairy-free ice cream not too long ago because I'm an ice cream fiend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so frustrating because I got home, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try some. I got it out, I get the spoon, and I'm literally like bending the spoon trying to get it out. I finally just threw it in the freezer and like called it a day. It wasn't worth trying anymore. But I did try for like 3 minutes and I could not get it out. So this has been a lifesaver.
Well, it's one of those things when you see a new gluten-free or new dairy-free product when you're in the store. I mean, I pick it up now. I just automatically grab it. Let's try it, because ideally you want to work. I mean, when you're going to have something like this and you're going to splurge and enjoy yourself, you want to make sure it's worth every single calorie. So the ice cream needs to be good. The crepes need to be good. The topping needs to be good. Everything should be on point, so then you don't feel guilty afterwards. And yeah, I mean, that ice cream is killer. That, I really like that flavor. Joe liked, there was like a coffee one that you obviously ate all of because it's not in there. I didn't realize that. But it was some coffee one by the same brand, and it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I liked the coffee one more than that one, and you liked the brulee one more.
Yeah, I mean, I love brulee anything. But yeah. So guys, that is it. We made, what are we going to call this? Caramel apple or apple pie crepes? We're going to figure out something. I think apple pie crepes makes sense. More than caramel apple. I don't know. We're going to call it good.
Everybody's saying, okay, take a bite. Let's see.
They
try
are not
it.
saying that. I know they don't
man.
say that. Never doing it.
We've got a comment that says, those cabinets with hearts in the eyes. So I assume they love them. Thank you. Kel said, most dairy-free taste sour or bland to me, so I'll have to try it. I agree, and I promise I'm picky, and I have fallen in love with this stuff. So
I mean, it's crazy. Like, let me see if I can show you guys the inside of it again. It's crazy. So you can see the caramel swirl. You can see all the brulee flavor in there, like the crunch or whatever. I don't know what you would call it, but you can see all of that. It is super flavorful. They have a cherry one. Ooh, one that I really like that they made is like it's an orange sherbet. It is so good. But yeah, definitely, it's a must try.
all right, we got a bunch of look delicious, taste, save me a bite, take a bite. We want to see you take a bite. I mean, there's just so many people
Nobody's
saying
that.
take a
Nobody's
bite.
saying that. Ever is saying that. But no, I'm definitely gonna crush this bad boy.
St. Jimmy 10 said, I feel like she knows where everything is in every cabinet, and I can't even find a plate in my house. Yeah, well, she spends pretty much every day in this kitchen working, so.
Every day, all day. We moved in, packed the kitchen up, started the renovation about 2 months after we moved in the house, unpacked everything, and then I've repacked all of this kitchen like 3 times, moving everything. But you know what? I still lose the scissors every day. I lose my kitchen scissors every single day. There's always that one thing, you know? It's kind of like the other sock.
Very true. All right, I'm going to give you guys one more shot of the
Yes.
finished dessert or brunch or lunch or
Yeah.
breakfast. Whatever kind of
Yeah, or
meal
dinner.
you want.
There's no judgment.
Yeah.
Start with dessert.
For me, this will be my second dinner,
Yeah.
technically.
All right, guys, really appreciate you tuning in today. We will be going live again next week. And yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Before we go, we did get a good question. How much sugar in that dairy-free ice cream?
Oh,
This is from Tenacious Leader 78.
okay, so there's 3 servings per container, so it's 2/3 of a cup, 24 grams of
Show me the
sugar.
label. Let's just see the label. Here we go. You can see for yourself. Maybe, hopefully. It wasn't too bad, though.
Yeah.
And we also had, did you already share the story of your first crepe? Not quite sure what that's referring to. Cowabunga.sc. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
No, I'm not sure on that one.
Tenacious Leader 78 says, thank you kindly. He was the one who asked about the sugar.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to leave you now and we're going to eat this bad boy.
All right, thank you for tuning in, guys.
Bye-bye.